10 years ago, I made a YouTube channel. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I wasn't sure what I was doing it for. All I knew was I wanted to put stuff on the internet. It was 2014. I was 14 years old at the time, and I had really gotten into YouTube a lot. So I come from a pretty good sized family, and when all you really have is TV and video games and like two TVs in the house, it gets kind of difficult to really do what you want to do. And that's kind of what drew me into watching a lot of YouTube. And that drew me into wanting to do YouTube, make videos. Now, initially, I was just uploading just stuff. It wasn't anything I took serious. It was like, here's this video of me, of something that I did. Here it is. This wasn't my first channel. I had a channel back when I was like 11 or 12, where I didn't really do anything with it. It wasn't great. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. It was awful. YouTube had some stuff at the time that, like, it was like a text-to-speech type thing where you kind of took an image and you can do like a text-to-speech. That's ended up what my old channel was. That's what my old channel ended up being, was just garbage like that and just other trash that I put out thinking that it was content. But fast forward to 2014, yeah, I was just uploading whatever, which kind of turned into actually recording and putting minimal effort into videos. I really got into like Vanoss Gaming and PewDiePie and all them, which got me to really want to take the YouTube thing semi-seriously. Like, I actually wanted to be a YouTuber. And at first I was just kind of uploading just stuff under my government name, my God-given name. And it wasn't really anything great. It was literally, for a while, it was literally just record something and then upload it. Like, very few times would I go back and watch it. I didn't do any editing. I can tell you that straight up. I didn't know anything about editing. I didn't do anything editing-wise. It was just record, maybe give it a second watch, and then upload. And it was like that for a while. Come 2014, well, before that, I was recording videos on my mom's iPhone, like 6, I think it was, or 6S, whatever, which the camera quality was not terrible. It was actually pretty decent. But then come 2014 Christmas, I got a like little cheap Android tablet for Christmas, which I don't want to sound like it was a bad gift. It was a fantastic gift. My family was kind of not doing great financially at the time, and anything was good, and I wanted a tablet to because it was the only mobile device I would have ever gotten. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have like my own personal computer, so being able to do everything online would have been through that. I actually had an old iPod Touch I got from a friend of mine that didn't work half the time. It was awful. He got it when we were like 9 years old, I think, from like science fair, and having that like 5+ years later trying to use it is the worst. But I got an Android tablet. The camera quality was about as bad as you'd expect it to be, but I thugged it out, and I did videos with it. I think I mentioned in old videos, like, I got an Android tablet, I'm going to start recording on that. The camera quality was not great, but that's what I used for a while. 2015, I would say, is kind of when I got more into it. I was recording and uploading a lot more. I say a lot more. My ideas were not terrible, but also not great. And even the ideas that you could perceive as good, the execution was atrocious. I think if I were to attempt to make them today, I could. It's just, as a 15-year-old or 14 to 15-year-old, it was... I didn't really have the means to do these videos. I didn't have the means to put effort or put anything into these videos because I didn't even edit. I wasn't even editing. I was just record, upload, and that was it. That was that. And the quality was not great just because of the hardware I had. And I don't fault anyone for what I made then. Oh, that's not controversial. I don't fault anyone for how my content turned out. I was a kid. The situation I was in at the moment, I just wasn't able to have top-notch stuff. So I do take take pride in what I was able to do with what I had to work with, and I'm not ashamed of any of that. Which will sound weird later after what I will bring up later. But yeah, that's just kind of what I was working with. At some point, I did get some editing software on that Android tablet. It was either free or I downloaded it from like a third-party site, one of the paid ones. Arrest me, whatever. But I did put minimal effort into editing. I would like cut and I would add an intro, and that's like all I did. Which, very similar to what I do now, pretty much. But I cut very little. It was like maybe 3 cuts in like a 5 or 6 minute video, which is not a lot. And the quality still was not great, but what are you gonna do? And I had sort of a mindset that I kind of wish I didn't have. And I kind of embarrassed to even talk about this mindset that I had of why am I not bigger? Because I was making these videos and I thought, hey, this is a great video. I did a great job on this. When I definitely did not. And I thought, why am I not doing well? Why am I not blowing up like I should have like 2,000 subscribers already? Just crap like that like, I shouldn't have had that mindset. But I mean, as a kid, it's like I watch all these YouTubers with all the success, and in my head, I'm doing the same type of content as them. I wasn't, but in my head, I was comparable. I mean, I was just looking for anything content-wise. I did the cinnamon challenge with to celebrate 25 subs. Never doing that again, so don't expect that. I mean, I think in a few of my videos I was like, hey, tell your friends to subscribe to me so I can get bigger, and it was dumb. It was really dumb. So going back to I'm not ashamed of kind of the situation I was in back then. I did delete videos. In the future, I did delete videos of mine that. It's not to say that they were offensive or shouldn't have happened. It was just I wasn't really happy with the quality. I didn't like the quality of the videos, so I was like, I'm gonna get rid of that. Because this is kind of when I did do better at YouTube. Is when I decided I'm gonna delete all these old videos because that's garbage. But looking back, I wish I didn't, because I want there to be a contrast between where I was then and where I am now in terms of quality and the effort I put into this. Nowadays, I don't know how much effort I put into it, but moving on from that, flash forward some more. My content was always inconsistent. I was never on an upload schedule. I never consistently uploaded. It'd be like, here's a few videos here, weeks to months pass. Here's some videos here, weeks to months pass. Here's some videos here. I never really stayed with it. And a lot of it is, of course, I was a kid, so a lot. I kind of ran out of ideas sometimes, and sometimes I just didn't upload anything. No really other explanation for that. I just didn't, Now in 2015, I rebranded myself. Why? Because I got it. It's gonna sound crazy. It came to me in a dream. I am not lying about that. So I went to one of my family reunions, I believe for we have 2 reunions we go to. We do Easter reunions and then Christmas. We keep in touch undoubtedly through social media, text, whatever. But we really only meet at those 2 times. And one time my grandmother, God bless her, but she would always get us gifts. No matter when it was. So she got me a gift, or she got us a gift. Me and my siblings and I, One Direction blankets. Yeah, I don't know why either. That's just what we were given, and it was pink One Direction blankets. I will say they were super comfortable. I legitimately used them. I used them on school trips too, and people kind of laughed at it. The most comfortable blanket I'd ever owned. It was phenomenal. But so she got all those pink ones. Blue ones were available. There were blue ones, but we didn't get blue ones. Us boys did not get blue ones. We got the pink ones. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So I put it on as a cape and just decided to screw around at my grandmother's house. just, messing around, doing whatever. And one of my cousins was like, yo, I'm gonna start calling you Captain Random. It's because I was just doing random nonsense. And I was like, I had sort of a Miles Teller moment where I was like,
say that again?
But no, I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. And I didn't really think much of it. It stuck with me for a little bit, but not a long time. But it was just kind of something like I heard and just like, all right, forget about it the next day. But then I had a dream one night where I was walking around. I don't remember where I was walking around, but I was walking around and people were wearing shirts that said Captain Random. And it was, in my dream, it was implied that it was me on YouTube and that was my merchandise. And it was spelled like weird. It was spelled like this, like that. And so I woke up and thought, I gotta do it. So I hit the YouTube. I changed my name. I made a channel trailer as like this is what's coming up for the channel or whatever. I think it's still on here. But yeah, I changed my name for that reason because it came to me in a dream, which is still a bizarre thing to say, but it's legitimate. I eventually changed it, as you can tell, because good lord, who would type that out? Who would look that up? It looks cursed. I mean, it made sense for the context, but nah, having that as a username is not the move. Flash forward a little bit more, because I do that. I kind of reinvented myself. My channel, that is, not me as a person. I kind of reinvented my channel. I never changed the name Captain Random, but my content turned into just, I'm going to embrace the name. I'm going to just upload whatever. It's going to be, the type of content I'm going to create is going to be random. You could get vlogs one day. You can get gaming, like commentary videos. Doesn't matter what it was going to be. It was just going to just be not a spur of the moment thing, but it was just going to be whatever I wanted to upload. I wasn't going to tie myself down to a specific like subgenre of YouTube. It was just going to be whatever I want to make, I'm going to make it. Get over it. And that's kind of what I did. Sometimes I focused in some areas, I focused more in one field than the other. But generally speaking, it was just I'm uploading whatever. I know I did, when I say quotes on gaming, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I didn't grow up with a lot of ways of making like gaming content outside of just me filming myself. So like I did have an Xbox 360. Eventually I had a PS4. Had a PS2 for the longest time. I never had a personal computer of mine until my later teen years. So I recorded, like screen recorded gameplay on my little Android tablet. I did like Minecraft Pocket Edition. I did these like Garry's Mod dupes. I did NBA Live Mobile. Got it early. Why? Because I downloaded it through a third-party site because it was not available in the US at the time. And it was awful to play on because it was super laggy, super slow, because obviously it was coming from a third-party site. And so that was my definition of gaming. I eventually just started uploading memes, or my definition of memes. Stuff I thought was funny. Some things that were relevant at the time, and some things that I just thought were dumb and funny. So I was like, this is gonna hit. Never did. So I did follow some trends, and some trends I tried to set. Boy, that did not pan out. But even that turned into like, I would just upload whatever. I tried to upload when they dropped the trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming. I tried to upload that. It got taken down every time, so eventually I gave up. I uploaded a Burger King commercial with the cast of Napoleon Dynamite. They didn't take that down, but why did I do it? Because it was easy views. I at some point I did have a mindset of views over everything, so I would just upload stuff that would get views and get my channel attention. I started uploading people's music, not because I thought I wanted the views, it's because I liked the music and I was like, listen to the song. So I just tried to put it out there. Most of the time I got copyrighted, but a lot of times it was independent artists that I just liked. I liked the songs they were putting out and just wanted to really get it out there. There was a point in time, speaking of like the trying to get views, where I almost deleted this channel. I had a whole YouTube video about it where I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of this channel, I'm gonna start a new channel, it's gonna be this name, and and it was just because it was simply because views, and it didn't do well, and I'm glad it didn't do well. I'm glad people didn't like it. I'm glad people didn't agree to it, because it kind of had me thinking like, oh, people clearly want this. I'm not kidding, because I ended up deleting those videos because it's like, okay, whatever, I don't need those anymore. That was a time in my life where people didn't like the stuff, and I tried to delete this channel, whatever. It wasn't necessary to stay up, but people didn't want me to just outright give up on this channel, and so I didn't. I thought, you know what, look, the people are what matters to this channel, not the views, so I'll just keep the channel. And that kind of turned into a shift in content, because at the time I was getting more into editing and I was actually putting effort into editing. I was still doing it on like maybe my phone at the time. So 2016, 2017, I got a phone. My first like personal phone. I usually had to share one with like a sibling of mine because broke. But eventually I got my own phone. It was an Android phone. Go figure. But the camera quality was actually decent. It was actually solid camera quality. So I started recording on that and editing on that. Just whatever free editing apps I can get on that. And that's kind of when my content sort of took a shift into like, hey, maybe I could actually be decent at this. As far as editing is concerned, content-wise, still wasn't fully there. I mean, there's decent stuff here and there, but my quality in editing took a huge incline, and so I was very happy with how that was turning out. I know there was one in particular, might have been the first time I actually put a lot of effort in editing, and it's one that I would go back years later and watch again because I loved how it turned out. I recorded in San Antonio. Family was taking a trip to San Antonio, and I was in a hotel, and I wanted to go to their workout room and just screw around and record stuff like that and kind of make like this fake commercial of like a P90X parody type thing. And I loved how it turned out. It took me about an hour or two to edit, maybe less. And like the next day I was like, holy crap, this thing looks incredible for kind of what it was. Incredible for me at least, and how it coming from me. So that took a huge I keep thinking huge hit, but that's not what that is. No, it definitely took definitely got better. So then I was actually putting more effort into videos. I was uploading more, a little too much because there's eventually falling out there. But no, I was actually uploading more, but then I was uploading more memes as well, like making more of these dumb little memes. And the videos I take much pride in. These videos that I was actually putting more effort into editing, I loved. Some of them I ended up deleting. Those that I deleted I will get into. But yeah, overall it was great for me. I was feeling good. I felt like this could be a legitimate thing, maybe. So onto the deleted videos. Unfortunately, when I turned 16, 17, I got really into politics. And looking back, I cringe every time I think about the kind of person I was back then, the kind of content I was making, the way I was. I was not proud of it. I wish I wasn't. I wish I hadn't gotten into politics because a lot of my content will end up being politically driven, and that's not really who I am now. I got away from politics, thankfully, so I don't really indulge myself in that sort of thing. But looking back, I'm like, this is cringe. I'm cringing at this garbage that I made. I cringe that I was a political person. I was really into politics. It's not to say I don't vote or anything. It's not to say I don't listen or pay attention to anything. I just don't get into it like I was, and I didn't like it. I don't like it. I wish I didn't get into it. And it's not like the videos were bad or controversial or offensive in any way. It's not a reflection of who I am. It's not a reflection of the type of person I want to be. So it sort of is a weird time in my life there where I was doing political content, and I kind of took a shift into like commentary. What was that? 2017, 2018 maybe. I was like 17 or 18. I got kind of into the commentary game, which is essentially just sit in front of a camera and talk. And that's what I did. The Captain Random thing, it sort of stopped being random and started just being, here's this one thing that I do now. And that's kind of what I thought my channel would turn into. But then 2018, at the age of 18, I just kind of stopped uploading. I think I still did like memes here and there. My upload schedule was more like spread out. I think like the time between uploads was kind of spacing out a lot more. It would turn from a few weeks to a few months, and at some point I told myself I'd go back to it and maybe I'd upload again, but I just didn't. And 1 year turned to 2 years turned to 3, and eventually I just decided I'm just gonna stop. This isn't something I really want to do anymore. This isn't really the route I want to take. So I stopped because I wasn't feeling it anymore. I wasn't into it. I wasn't going to delete it. I was going to leave it where it was. And so up until like 2023, I just decided I'm just not going to, whatever, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I would watch YouTube. I wouldn't upload to YouTube. But then come summer of 2023, actually, it was sort of before then, because I would have ideas for videos, or I would get into movies a lot more and wanted to do movie reviews. But I said, no, I quit YouTube. I'm not doing that anymore. It's not me. come summer, I believe it was August of 23, I sort of had a Norman Osborn Goblin Mask moment where it was kind of calling me in. And I struggled with the idea of coming back because I wasn't fully on board with it, but the idea was there. The idea was kind of in my head to come back, and it was kind of stuck in my head for a while. And then eventually I decided, you know what, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get back on YouTube. I'm going to get back on the horse and straddle. No.
Pause. No diddy.
I'm going to get back on the horse and get back on YouTube eventually. So I planned it a few months in advance. I put up a teaser trailer that I'm coming back in 2024 after 5 years of absence. And so I started recording stuff. That's the time I was working a full-time job. And so it wasn't me trying to record videos was not the easiest thing, but I did record some videos. I kind of had a list of videos I wanted to do. My goal was 20 by 24. I wanted 20 videos recorded and edited by the year 2024 so that I could upload them weekly, so that if I were to happen to get like a creative block and I don't know what videos to make, or I just kind of run out of ideas, I would have those to fall back on. It's like, well, I have all these videos that would last me like most of the year until I figure something out. I ended up getting like 5 or 6 videos in and done. A lot of them were very much the same. There was a lot of tier list videos because it was like the easiest thing to make. And so I did that and I edited most of them. And so 2024, I started uploading again. And I decided to actually have a somewhat consistent schedule. For a good few months, I was uploading weekly. It was going to be Friday in the afternoons. Sometimes it was Saturdays if I wasn't able to get a video uploaded on time or edited on time, so because of like work related things. But that's kind of where that is now. And come to now, here I am. I made a return after 5 years of absence. I wanted to make a big hoorah about it because I just been gone for so long. I know back then I would be gone for months and just kind of show up, but after being gone for years, you don't just show up. So here I am. I stopped uploading in like late August because I moved here, and now I'm uploading again. Yeah, a decade of this channel. Ups and downs, lefts and rights, sideways, backwards, forwards, whatever. It's been a ride. It's been something else. I haven't only changed in my content, but I've changed as a person. I've had a change of mindsets and personality. When I started this channel, I was in the like 8th or 9th grade. I think it was in between 8th and 9th grade, and I had moved schools. After school I'd been going to for a good few years, I had created long-lasting friendship and bond with people, and I moved schools and had to start fresh. And as a teenager, it's an awful thing to do because you're kind of in a weird time in your life where you're trying to discover who you are. It sounds weird to say, but that you're kind of figuring out who you are and what kind of person you want to be for the rest of your very life. And trying to do that and starting fresh after so many years, it's a struggle. I only went to that school for 2 years because my mental health kind of took a hit. When I went to that school, I already had friends there, but I only had like 2 friends, and they had friends. And so I was trying to get in with them, and it was not easy. I never talked to like anyone. I got voted most shy in the 8th grade, which kind of sounds like a bit of a dick move on their part, but they didn't know. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know what I was dealing with mentally. And at the time, my family was kind of struggling financially, so that's another reason it took a hit. But it kind of drew me closer to my faith. As a Christian man, I was saved at like the age of 9, but it never really hit me until I was this age when I needed God the most. So I kind of grew in my faith and became stronger as a Christian man. And, it makes me kind of happier now. That faith never went away. That faith never drifted away since then. So I am. That's kind of where I am as a faithful man myself. But that's kind of really what got me into YouTube as well. Is just take my mind off of the struggles and my mental health hit. Am I happier now? No guarantees, but I'm here. I'm chilling. I have a different outlook on life. I kind of changed as a person in one way where like I'm not an egotistical person in the weirdest way possible. In the weirdest way to say that possible, I'm not about myself. I can take a joke. About myself. I will join in jokes about myself. Self-deprecating humor, that's my thing. That's where it's at. I'm all for it. I will joke about myself because I'm cool with it. I've accepted who I am at this point. I know who I am at this point. I've kind of figured out fully, and I've kind of fully accepted who I am at the age of like 20. I figured out what personality I am. So that's where I am right now. 10 years later, things have changed dramatically. I'm in college now, living in Florida, going to college, which I never thought I would actually do. Believe it or not, I never had planned on going to college. So being here is cool. Little frightening, but it's really cool, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to be making videos again. Happy to be making content again. So I guess here's to another 10 years, or maybe, I don't know. And now I'm looking at new content, new forms of content like streaming. I'm looking into doing that. But for those of you who've been here from the beginning, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. And for those of you that are new here or haven't been here as long as the OGs, thank you for sticking around. Maybe slightly not as long, but I won't fault you for it. And for those who are new, welcome. I welcome you with open arms. I hope you stick around because there is more content to come. I can't promise it's going to be great content, but it will be content. So once again, thank you for the support all these years, and let's see how much further we can go here.